Hi everybody, Dr. Darya Ghafourpour here. Thanks for joining me on yet another Friday evening. This seems to be my habit. Linger someplace Friday evening and decide to get inspired. Now that's an interesting concept, huh? Pre-planned inspiration to go live on Facebook. I'm having fun with this method of communication. It's kind of surprised me quite a bit actually. I've been someone who has shied away from having an internet presence maybe, and I've been kind of scared by Facebook and feeling like not quite sure where all the privacies are, and so I don't know what shifted in me, and I don't know what it is about Facebook Live, but this particular medium, somehow I feel a comfort level in it. Maybe I like the personalization of being able to speak this way instead of just relying on how words come across, written words might come across. And so anyway, here I am. So if you're here, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. Leave me a comment. I can see this on the lower part of my screen here when somebody chimes in. Oh, and also if you haven't already, I'd love it if you would like my page here. I'm realizing more and more that the more people who like this page, the greater visibility my videos will have, and so the greater outreach that I can have. And I'm kind of having fun with this idea of being able to, communicate about things that are important to me, and hopefully be able to impact someone else's life in a positive way. So that's what I'm doing here. I thought that I would touch on a little bit about what I talked about in last week's video that had to do with self-esteem and trusting your future self. And it's brought up questions, and how do you do that? How do you believe in yourself? How do you trust that you'll find the answers to your questions? These are probably big life questions, you know. What I found is that it takes practice. I have a historic tendency of believing in, when someone can present themselves confidently, I'm more likely to believe what it is that they're sharing with me than if they're not so confident, if they're not maybe standing so tall, if there's something that doesn't, well, seem believable, there's something that I'm not quite trusting. And I might have had more of a tendency to trust in what someone else is presenting over myself. And what I've learned over the years is that it's very important to trust myself. How is it that I can believe what I tell other people if I'm chatting with somebody and they're sharing something with me and I feel like I can encourage them on? How is it that those words of encouragement wouldn't apply to me? And I looked at it that way and I thought, that's not fair. I'm just as deserving as encouragement as anybody else. And so that takes practice, I suppose, just in being in this world over the years. And I feel like I've gotten better at it, and that's kind of fun. It's a fun place to be, to feel like I've gotten better at that. And so one trick that I want to expand on is kind of based on that. And that was based on that question, well, how do you learn to have more confidence in yourself and trust that the answer will be there? If you are not feeling that great, or you're questioning maybe if you're on the right path, let's say, or you're not exactly sure what path to go on, and if you're talking with someone else who is in that situation, what would you share with them? What would be your sage words of wisdom to them? And think about that. So I would say just pause and think about that. And now that you've, listened to your inspiration and you feel a bit, maybe even excited to be able to share what it is that you see in this other person, the potential that they have, and you know that you can share with them something that will be uplifting, now just turn the tables and tell that exact same story to yourself, because you didn't make it up. It came from someplace, and that could make just as much of an impact on you as on anybody else. And so it's a way of kind of stepping out of ourselves and coaching ourselves, because we need that too, and we deserve that too. So that's one thing that I've done, is I paid attention to how easy it is for me to uplift somebody else and encourage them. And you know, in past years, maybe it wasn't that easy to do that, for me to hear it from someone else, you know, but it would be easy for me to dish it out to somebody else about how they can, you know, can and should feel confident in themselves because they're doing great. So it's taken some practice to do that. So I think that what that goes hand in hand with is generally about it. It has to do with having a positive outlook, and I choose to have a positive outlook whenever I can, because I like it better than having a negative output. So if I look at one versus the other, I prefer to be positive. It makes me happier, and I believe that that is one of the keys to success, is when we can allow ourselves to feel happier in our lives, good things continue to happen, not just to us, but to those around us, because we kind of carry that in our field. And I think it's super important for us to acknowledge that possibility, that things not only can be okay, but that they are okay. And beyond that, they're great. Life is good. When we can even act as if, let's say you're in a space where maybe you don't believe that about your life. Just pretend for a moment that it is, and you're probably going to notice that you're going to encounter somebody smiling at you, somebody just making a very kind gesture to you, giving you a wave, somehow catching your eye from across, you know, the aisle or something, and you feel that there's just kindness that they're admitting towards you. Well, pay attention to that. That's like a little sign to you that you're on the right track. You might find more laughter in your life, even if it starts out as perhaps sarcastic. But then more and more, you're going to find that you'll find things to feel more jovial about. It's just that point of attraction that we focus on that's so important. And when we can hone in to those positive possibilities, we start recognizing that they're really all around us, that there are choices that we can make that will help us feel uplifted and help us feel lighter and help us feel better. And that's what I found to be true in my own life. And so I just want to put that out to you as a suggestion. Why not try doing the same thing for yourself? And even if that feels like that's a little bit too unrealistic, try it for somebody else. Point something out to them that you think is great about them, or that you really appreciate about them. That you noticed that they did something for someone else, and you just wanted to acknowledge that. Anything. You'll just see the person's face light up, and you know that you just made a nice difference in their life. Those are the things that I think are important for us to pay attention to. And anyway, I hope that that's something that is inspiring for you. Thanks for listening and tuning in. I hope you have a really great evening. Leave a comment here, even if it's after the fact of this being live. Just go ahead and leave your thoughts, and if you have any questions, and that'll serve as inspiration for me to continue, and we'll see where this path takes me, and those of you who join in with me too. Please like this page if you haven't already. Please share the link to this video. Share this video to any of your friends, somebody that you think might benefit from hearing these words. And I'd love to see how this community will grow, and I really appreciate you tuning in and spending part of your day and your night with me. All right, folks, take care. Might be next Friday, I suppose. We'll see when I'll get inspired again to join in again live, and I hope you'll be able to join in with me too. Okay, thanks everybody.